in the sort of esports team, we're seeing so much talent right now. But let's do it, Lethal. We've got the grand finals right now. We've got Myztro CIS consisting of Xron and Silencep versus the Myztro EU guys consisting of Sparty and Razy. And let's have a look. Ooh, it looks like Visor was not banned out considering we've got that pick from Xron. And we've got Razy on BJ and Sparty on Ranger. So no Ranger being used by Myztro EU.
Yeah, it's quite surprising. They are both using BJ anyway, and this is, I think this is the first Visor we've seen so far. Because I'm not sure if they actually chose Visor in any other previous match.
No, because I think they did. That was in part of their supposed bans. So we wouldn't have seen that. It looks like I want to say that Galena and Keel were banned because you'd normally expect Spar to be taking hold of Galena, and I think normally Xron and Silencep would ban a Visor if they were to do that, but because Sparty and Razy can be very tricky with the way they use Galena on maps like Corrupted Keep and Awoken, they decided, you know what, let's put that at bay, and we're going to use Visor.
It seems like now Sparty was going off of that rail, getting a nice double earlier, and it seems like so far, Myztro Game and EU have already had a very good start, and we speak about it a lot of times as well. We always say that if they want to put the pressure on, they have to do it right off the bat at the start.
Yeah, Silencep had no bullets at all, so we're just running around the gauntlet out. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to die. It's fine. I accept my defeat.
Yeah, that's when you know you've done either too much damage or too much spamming. It's always one of the two. But I'll assume it's damage. I'll give him, you know, his grievance nice anyway. I know, I'm being quite nice today. I might be a bit of a pain later, but I'll see how I feel later. But Razy now getting completely decimated by the LG, but he's trying to stay alive. He's only at one tick, but managed to get picked up. But Sparty does manage to get Silencep anyway, but it seems like Xron managed to back off.
Razy looking like he wanted to pick up the rocket launcher for a second, but he's going to go with the dual-wheeled rails. Can he land any more shots? Rail is up, but he misses out on it. And with that small advantage that Razy and Sparty have picked up, it looks like it might fade away. Now the quad's gone to the sister Myztro team.
Well, I like how Xron waited for the heavy. He knew that he didn't have much armor. He didn't want to risk going in with the quad with a, I wouldn't say a bad stack, but I'd say an average stack, just in case like he gets railed or anything like that, which is perfectly understandable. But with using his ability to at least try and pick things off, and he does get at least one, just try and get another, but sadly it was just before he came after the wall.
Yeah, he should really be timing those shots better. I think Xron would expect these kind of rails to be landing for him. Oh, he had rockets available. Some questionable weapon picks at the moment from Xron as he warms up into this grand final. Razy's going to come blasting out with the dual wield. He's going to take himself heavy armor. I think he's going to try and commit to Silencep, but what a vertical rail from the Dutch player of the CIS side. Just to clarify that, I know it's Myztro CIS, but only one player in Myztro is from that sort of region, so I think that's why we have the name there. Just for clarity.
Yeah, I think they were just like, yeah, Xron's like, well, we're having my region, and it's like, you like it a lot, and like, I think
tough.
Silencep was like, okay, all right, whatever you want, mate, I'm just going to leave you to it. I'm not going to, you know, be fussy or say a word at all. And now, Xron does get the heavy. He's just trying to back off. He is still quite weak health-wise, but he is waiting for the opportunity to maybe get away. Hopefully, he'll actually look away, but does manage to get away anyway. But sadly for him, not looking too good for health-wise. But Silencep managed to get that nice double.
Oh, he still lands a rail right there. Doesn't go for the last shot. Going to go back over to Xron. I'm curious how players are going. Actually, Xron has got most kills for his team. It is Sparty doing very well with Ranger right now, so I'm going to hold on with Sparty for a second.
I don't blame him in a moment. It seems like now that protection is coming in the next 10 seconds. I think Sparty is waiting for Razy to go in at an opportune moment, which he does, which is perfect. This is what I mean by timing attacks. This is what they should be doing a lot more. And look at the difference it's made. They're at a really bad advantage, but even though it seems like they've got the protection anyway, but sadly, doesn't manage to get away. So I think, is that the protection off?
He just deleted himself off the map. He got kills. He injected so much chaos into that. I have no idea how Silencep. I think he rocket jumped into the protection.
Yeah.
That he made sure that the two others died around him. He was so low on health and wasn't sure if Xron was going to spawn near enough to take it immediately that he just jumped off the map and denied the protection from anybody.
Yeah, it was
really weird,
wasn't it? In terms of that extent, it was quite messy. But obviously, when you got two teams that close in such a narrow area, I'm not surprised in the slightest. But it seems like now at the moment he's going to try and stop him getting a mega, but sadly does get a rail anyway, which ain't too bad. And as you can see, the score at the moment, 18-17, so it's a close game than what we expected.
No, very close so far. Xron's locked down Razy on the sideline. A little bit of splash damage as well, but you can see they've got some good timing on that heavy armor, keeping that solid control. And Xron, when he gets this piercing sight up again, he should be doing tons of damage. But he dives in really quickly. I would have waited for that piercing sight to come out. And
look at this discipline by Myztro EU. Literally just waiting there, and even knew that there's a possibility that he would be using Visor's ult then. But it seems like now Sparty is going to be waiting for one of the players to push up now. He does get a rocket off, but it seems like now at least his team is here now, so he's going to try and at least get that 2v1. But they did try and go from behind, and it seems like now he is stabbed, but he never got finished off in the end. But finally, Sparty does pick him off. I think they knew he was weak, but knew to spend at least a few seconds on the other player to at least try and do something out of this.
Oh. Razy's so weak. Shotgun. It is going to be enough. Silencep. He seems to be getting so many important kills. And this is just before the power-up's going to be spawning. Xron, piercing sight. He's going to be using it to try hold his position. Does land a rail to help out his teammate. And this LG, just keep him at bay. It's fine. You've done damage to him. You don't need to do much. The heavy, sure, it's going to come into play now, but they're too late for it. Razy does get one of the kills, impressively enough. Let me see if I can find a... Silencep, where are you? There you are.
There you are.
I got you, man.
You got his back anyway, and now they've got the quad. Obviously, you know, they're going to be looking to try and increase this lead, but the question is, can Myztro EU keep away from him as long as possible to not let him increase that lead too much? But it seems like they're doing a good job just trying to get away, trying to do everything they can just to find things out. But they does find Spartan in the end, but I'm not sure if they will find Razy, which he does, and he managed to pick him off as well as being stacked with that heavy now. So things aren't looking too good for Myztro EU.
That mega health was up for over 20 seconds, I think.
Really?
Yeah, wow. I'm pretty sure. Heavy, it seems to be something that Silencep&Xron are really focusing on, but they don't seem to have great mega timing. And I think it's the same for Sparty and Razy. Their focus is also heavy. So I really feel like, although we're seeing incredibly high tier play, in terms of item control, we're not really seeing yet the top because of these guys focusing on so much else in this game.
Yeah, because at first I thought to myself, when you said about the mega being 20 seconds, I assumed, well, maybe when he had quad, they were just baiting it, so that at least if they know the timing of it, they can go straight course. But
so he just missed it on his peripheral vision, and he went over to try and continue the run, but it was never picked up by Razy or Sparty or Silencep. So I was just like, oh, this is kind of just odd timing going on from then. So if they can keep a track of the mega health as well, Silencep's usually the guy who does that. I remember back in the day, he would used to time 6, 7 items at once for his team when they were playing in the 4v4 TDM, so definitely expect him to keep a track of this.
Yeah, when you've got good players with good timing like that, it's so nice to rely back on as well.
Right.
Like, me personally, I'm normally one who keeps the timings, but every time I've actually not picked up something for once, I'll ask someone else and they'll just go, I'm not really too sure, it's 30-ish, and I'm like, mate, that's not good enough.
Yeah,
You've got to sort it out.
Come on.
And we've got a protection coming in now, 3 seconds now. Sparty just trying to delay everything as much as possible, but Silencep does manage to get that protection now and just see if he can go for a run on it.
We've got 17 frags each for the CIS guys. Silencep's going to find one. I think he's going to run into one more, hitting these rails again, looking for a spam shot around the corner. Rocket jump up. He spots that the tribal area was used. Xron is going to go down, but it's now time for Silencep to avenge his fallen comrade. He can't quite hit the shots, and this protection's going to wear out soon. He does hit a couple of rails, so his damage output's been good. And now see if Xron can actually finish off the job. He's on about 20 health, so I suspect not.
That was a fantastic job by him. Literally, he was flanking around, making sure his teammate was actually doing enough damage and enough distraction for him to go behind him with that protection as well. So, and you can see now, 37 to 29 now. Myztro Gaming EU needs to at least try and get something going here. At least try and get something, at least going. But this is one of the main things they need to do. If they manage to at least get this kill, but sadly they don't. Silencep does finish him off, and then straight afterwards, he cleaned up Sparty now. So that kill deficit now is going to be so huge for them.
Yep, they're 11 frags away from winning map number 1. Great LG damage just then from Razy. He is going to be able to pick up another. Xron with the nail gun spam. He's going to keep Sparty at bay.
Razy now just trying to get some information, just try and find out exactly what's going on. Sparty will find him, but sadly does get taken up by Silencep. But now Razy, that was a crucial pick, but again, Xron with the trade. I mean, trading off so well off each other, 2 for 1. Most of his second half of the game, I'd say.
Oh, he does go into orb onto the heavy. Misses out on the rocket, going to try and find some more damage. But Razy makes it a 1-for-1 essentially, even though it was Sparty that unfortunately for him suicided then.
You've got a quad coming up in the next 8 seconds, and Sparta with that Mega now will help him just that little bit more to get this quad. They really need this
for that jump
to at least try and get something done, but Xron does get taken out. But Silencep again with a nice double, a crucial one as that, and to potentially close out this series with the quad.
I wish I saw what was going on with the actual quad itself, because it was picked up, but he went down soon after. We could see the rush over, but now Sparty's come back, and he's stolen the quad back for them. This game is not over at all. We're getting close to the 50 mark now, so I'm not sure if we'll get much further than just past the next protection. Maybe not even there. Nice, Sparty.
That was the beginning of the end, but straight, you know, just like that, didn't make any use of that quad. Managed to get taken anyway now. And Sparty and Razy made a good comeback so far, but they really need to be careful. The time is still in their favor in terms of how things are progressing, but there's only 5 kills in it now, 6 I think, 7 now. So as I'm saying, there's only 6 kills deficit. So, you know, they've got 4 minutes, they've got enough time to be calm and collective and see if they can get any picks and maybe wait for that next protection in the next minute.
It's very easy to feel like you have to keep rushing, but right now you got a minute until the power up. Get yourself the lightning gun. See if you can find. Oh wait, sorry, that was Silencep. See if you can find some extra resources. I'm going to stick with Myztro EU. Sparty's weak though. Razy a bit less weak. Sparty's having a very forward position right now, trying to get some damage out. We've got a double rail just then from Razy. Anything more like that would help, but he can't connect those vital shots. There's a good one.
And if it wasn't so late in the game, I don't think Myztro EU at the time would have actually pushed in on that. Sorry, Myztro CIS. They were literally pushing in, knowing that at least if they get that 1 kill, doesn't matter if we trade 1 for 2, we're getting close to that 50 kill mark, and there you go. So, as you expected, Myztro CIS literally with that first map so far. Yeah. But, you know, there was a level of consistency. There wasn't really too many major mistakes on their part. Like, you know, there was a bit of a messy protection play, which we saw earlier, which even we were both a bit confused about with the how hectic it was. But, you know, it's kind of what we expected. Yeah,
it was nice from Sparty as well to get the re-steal on the quad. There were definitely moments there where I thought, actually, the comeback can happen if there's some really sensible plays. But I think that Silencep&Xron, they slowed it down at the right time as well to not suffer too much at the hands of a quad damage, or even the moments afterwards when when really it was Sparty and Razy that were on the stronger side of the map resource-wise. But definitely combat skills paying off, control paying off. They still seem relatively head-to-head, but just those each little stats are 1 point higher for Xron and Silencep.
They're literally just edging it here and there in a lot of situations, but Silencep did save his team quite a few times in some unusual circumstances. But we do have a highlight from that last map. We're considering exactly what happened in those kind of things. So I think we'll be watching from Sparty's POV.
Oh, this is the moment over at the protection. This is Silencep who got both the kills. He forced out a suicide, and then I don't think he actually deliberately suicided just then. I think he rocketed him directly, and then because obviously if you rocket jump off someone's face, it's still a rocket jump, right?
Yeah.
And he just fell out of the map from that. So I don't think he actually jumped out of the map. Although I think that was a totally valid play to do, and in the end it looked smart, although what happens, happens. It could be worse.
It's smart, it's fine. Yeah. You know, don't worry about it.
Tactical face rocket jump with protection denial.
Shall we say that was a mistake, or shall we say that it was credit due?
Maybe a lost opportunity to not keep hold of it and give the protection over to Xron.
Yeah, because I think you wouldn't just give out, would you? Like, depending on the situation. Like, obviously, by then his teammate would spawn with him, he can just suicide and then literally give it straight to whoever it was. Yeah. So, you know, that would have been more of a play you would normally make. I think it's probably more common sense making that kind of play, so that's understandable. But, you know, it was a lot closer than we expected. I wasn't expecting it to be a landslide or anything like that, because I know Sparty and Racy are really great players. They've got a great reputation for last year. And it feels like now that, you know, they've got a little chip on their shoulder in terms of what you spoke about before, but, you know, they've had maps taken off them, you know, series here and there. But, you know, I'm hoping they at least show, maybe it wasn't that map pick, but I'm hoping the map picks will swerve more in their favour to actually have a closer series. But as we go into now, we're going straight into Silencep's point of view. He's going to be
oh my God,
waiting.
Look at this. The scale bearer is out. Finally, Xron has lived up to his promises. He goes to the bullish, but he misses it completely.
He's not a promise breaker like me, is he? He actually is a man of his words. Man of his words.
He's delivering right now, but whether or not he holds on to this, Silencep does get himself killed, but it doesn't really matter what's happening on any other part of the map, because Xron has got scale bearer. And he died, but whatever, he's back again. Scale bearer, just keep saying it, it's more and more exciting each time. He's going to try and run into him to get that passive damage off, but he's being fended away there by Sparty.
I'd be interested to see how he uses Scale Bear compared to other champions. This is one thing I wanted to talk about as well, because you were saying that he was going to use some interesting picks, and yeah, it didn't go too well to him, unfortunately. But
going well
I'd be interested to see how he actually abuses Scale Bear.
Yeah, it's not been the most sort of profitable champion yet. He's going in for the passive pummel here. It goes over to LG instead, decides, you know what, I'll actually catch up with him this way. Heavy is going to be up in a second, so he will be able to get his stat going a little better. But they're still leading, just over a minute in. We can see here he's using just a +4, building up that speed up to 500 UPS. If he runs into someone, he's going to do probably at least 50, 75 damage. And if he combines it with his other weapons, then he'll be the one laughing.
Yeah, if you've got a stack like that, you've got no reason to go that fast, to be fair, so that's completely understandable. And Razy does manage to get Silencep. Mega will be coming in the next couple of seconds. Heavy as well, almost in sync. But you've got, remember, he does manage to get me almost against the second one as well. But Sparty does manage to stop the onslaught, but the onslaught could continue if they get that quad in the next 10 seconds. Just playground work crop to keep for them, isn't it, very much?
I'm gutted he's not going to have the bull rush ready for this, but he's going to try and run at them anyway. Oh, it's going to be the shotgun of Razy, and we'll finally move away from Xron. Maybe a little bit of bias from me showing that seeing Scale Bear on the map is a little bit too exciting. But yeah. I'm feeling a little bit giddy, you know.
We're like kids at Christmas, aren't we? Seeing a different champion in play outside the meta compared to
just Scale Bear, man. Scale Bear it excites me in ways that no one else can.
Well, who else can?
No one else. That's it. I'll just put an end to it.
Yeah, I'll put an end to it as well, to be fair. But it does eventually get taken out when he actually did have call at the time. And Razy will be back off in a moment. Sparty does get killed, so we wait for him to respawn. And it seems like now it does get picked up on spawn, but does drop down, just try and get away. But Razy does take out Xron. And Silencep does trade with Razy straight afterwards.
Let's have a look at his 4 for 7 with the Scale Bearer. Sparty though 3 for 5, so it's not Scale Bearer exclusive negative net, but nice sign. So just waits for that. It's 100% lightning gun done and dusted.
What can you say? What can you say? And yeah, it's a great LG work so far, but doesn't seem to be strafing that much to actually get out of it. At least he's just been straight lining game, which has been quite weird. You know, the lift was understandable, but it seemed like there was wouldn't say standing still, that's probably been a bit harsh, but yeah, I don't think he had time to actually strafe out of the LG. But Xron with that nice nail, and then Sparty managed to clean up Xron anyways, but it seems like now Razy will be backing off. He knows, actually maybe he doesn't know, he's going to go for the pull to at least try and support Sparty with that cleanup, but that Heavy's coming in the next 6 seconds, so he needs to try and get something done, but Silencep does get killed. Xron does take out Razy now, and Xron is going to try and pick him off, but he doesn't, so I assume now, yes, Sparty does manage to get a Heavy, but he hasn't got any health to complement him.
He might take a moment to just get these health bubbles, yeah, so he's looking a little bit better now. I want to quickly, yeah, that's right, I want to go over to Scale Bearer camp just to see if he's got he's got the bull rush, but he's got no health. Sparty's killing everything. Silencep goes for a rush on him. Protection's already been taken. The bull rush coming! He's going to try and die orb him. And it looks like this is going to allow Myztro EU to take the lead with this kind of kamikaze approach, as I think you've put it already.
Yeah, I wouldn't say CIS were taking the mickey out of him at the start, like trying to abuse the skill bells as much as possible, like charging every way. But like, it seems like now, Razy and Sparty are kind of finding their footing, I'd probably say, getting used to how they play in Corrupted Keep. Now it's in their favour, they're making more abuse out of it, and Sparty's still quite stacked at the moment.
He's got loads to work with. I expect another couple of kills from him. Silencep just got the nail gun there. Rocket's going to be fine. Maybe put a bit of pressure on Xron, but he's got a good position up there, and Razy wasn't nearby at that moment. And they've also got control of Heavy. Everything revolving around the timings for them. Tries to get the mid-air dire orb. Could jump up. Sadly, that rocket just didn't connect for him. But it doesn't matter, he gets it back anyway.
That's the main thing. Long as it took a bit longer than expected, but at least he managed to finish him off. But Xron does take out Razy in the end. And at the moment, Sparty's just trying to find a way to at least try to get his stack a little bit higher, at least try to sort something out. But Razy managed to pick off Xron just there. But I feel like now with the Scale Bear, it's a bit of a disadvantage. I'll always get the nail out straight away and at least try and get as much damage done as possible. So I'm not too sure. Would you say Xron's Scale Bear is actually helping in any way? Like, has made a change up in any way?
I wish I could right now, but look at the stats. He's 8 for 15. Sparty, who was negative net at the beginning on range, is now just absolutely soaring away. It's hard to say that Myztro's sorry, that Xron is able to have much of a positive impact anymore. He seems to be heavily counted already, just his size on the map. He can't get close, and Sparty's just bullying him with the Dire Orb. I think Xron might even consider switching champion at some point soon, because they are at risk already of possibly losing out in this map.
I think it would at some point. I know KD doesn't actually mean everything, and we don't actually know how much damage he's dealt. But maybe he tried Scale Bearer just because of the fact that, you know, it's different, you know, and the best way to try it, sometimes even if he practices in scrims or like money matches, anything like that, sometimes when you do it in a tournament, that's when you really get to see how much you can abuse it. But it doesn't manage to take out that quad, and Raising Sparty again. The 2 kills off the bounce now, and as you can see, Myztro came in EU, 32 kills to 24 now, 9 kill deficit, and it seems like now Raisins was just doing work right there.
We've got the protection. Oh, he's going to give it over to Xron. He's got Mega. He's got 10 seconds left to play with it. He's going to try and chase, help with that passive. Does find Razy. But yeah, there's some catch up to do. 10 for 20. Hello. He tries to go in with the bubble. He's so desperate for these frags. Do you call it BM, or is it just trying to just make something work for himself? I don't know.
Oh, it's quite a hard question, because I feel like I would like to say it's BM, just to make things a bit more interesting.
just because.
Yeah, just because. Yeah, you know, just saying, like, you know, it's BM. We've got to make this storyline a bit more interesting. You know what I mean? But it's quite hard to tell. I wouldn't say it's BM. I think I would say it's just, you know, trying out something outside the meta in a tournament format, just to see if it makes any impact compared to previous scrims, I'd say. But if it's BM, then awesome.
Well, it is the map pick of Razy and Sparty. You know, so they've already taken the first map. It's a best of 5. It's not a best of 3. So it's, you know, you've got room to experiment. But if you end up losing 2 maps later on, then you might start looking at yourself later on thinking, oh, maybe we shouldn't have tried that.
And this is the problem having at the moment. Sparty, he's only down to 53 HP. He's trying to stay alive. Hopefully get some help. But sadly, Xron does manage to clean up Sparty. But Razy was already, like, on the opposite side of the map anyway. So I think he was just hoping he could pull back, do a little bit of damage, spawn his teammate next to him. But we had a trader from Silencep&Xron killing, and then also with Razy getting that other kill as well.
We're back onto Zoot, free tap over here.
Zoot.
Sparty's managed to get himself an orb kill, and Razy getting the mid-air. Let's see if I can get to the... Oh, there we are. We're over at Sparty with protection, so absolutely wrecked there in what could be one of the last power-ups if we see them get as many frags as they've been getting.
Completely agreed, and it seems like now Myztro EU are looking to not only increase their lead, but finish this game up as well. There's only 7 kills left, and they're going to try and do everything they can to try and clean this up as quickly as possible. And, you know, it abuses protection enough anyway, so I think most of the time we saw that every time each one of these teams had a power, there wasn't really much abuse of it in terms because of the fact that they were always getting away at the perfect times. But Sparty does get that Mega anyway, does manage to get the LG. They're both asked to get a little bit, just trying to at least get as much damage done as possible. But Xron does manage to kill Razy after all that.
Even when Xron's got the protection, he's just taking so much damage from the other guys. They're hitting loads on their shotgun blast because of the sort of natural larger hitbox that the heavy champions have. And he's just been suffering. This is a game for him to forget. I don't think he's going to be upset by it, because he's definitely trying out something, but Razy and Sparty haven't been thrown off by the Scale Bearer pick.
No, they're just playing like it's another day in the office at the moment. They seem to be perfectly calm at ease. Don't seem to have any issues. Nice orb there. And literally straight off the bat, Razy cleaned up Silencep there. Yeah,
1 more kill needed. We've got Sparty running away. He hasn't got his orb up. Is the nail going to be it? I'm very curious about the score, actually, of this. If we're going to wait for the scoreboard for a second, I just want to see. Oh, I just got denied.
Almost.
I think there was like 30 deaths or so, though, for Xron.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. He was on like 29, not... Oh.
Thank you very much. I was going to say, because yeah, 13 and 32, it's not really the KD you would like. I know stats don't lie, but that definitely wasn't lying. That was a bit too much. Didn't really much make of an impact.
Stats there tell the story just fine. They show everything just in those that KD. Yeah, we understood that went horribly wrong for Xron. I consider myself amused and entertained. I'm still happy that we got to see it, but yeah, that wasn't playing for the win. After 5 minutes, you could tell it was no longer playing for the win at that point. It was just trying somehow to scramble something together with the Scale Bearer.
Yeah, and I think you said you were Myztro CIS 3-1. And do you reckon Xron heard you and probably thought, All right, we'll give him a game just to make you feel a little bit happier with the scoreline, so at least you've got it in one.
I mean, it's corrupted. They know it's a strong map for Razy and Sparty. I don't think Xron's nice enough to me that he would listen and just give the map up for that, just for my prediction. But I think they're going to come out all guns blazing because they certainly don't want to let it get to a tiebreaker. But it could. You've just dropped the ball massively. Yeah,
absolutely. And you've got to remember as well, you know, so you've got 3 more maps into this, and you've seen how Razy and Sparty played just then. They played a lot more comfortably compared to before. So now you've got the momentum swinging in their favour. Do you reckon Xron and Silencep will have the mentality to actually come back and just turn around things like compared to their previous scrim results and tournament placings?
Yeah, we're going to Ruins, a map that we haven't seen today. So, I mean, I don't know what to expect. Maybe Xron was just entertaining me saying, you don't even know what I'm picking today. We haven't seen Ruins, so maybe he's got something else as a surprise there. We're not seeing the Keel right now, so I think that one did get banned out. So who knows? This could actually be a really close map.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to remember as well, with these bans as well, they played against each other enough to know exactly what they're comfortable with and what they're uncomfortable with. And we spoke about before where there'll be a lot of scrims happening where they're playing champions they're least likely to play. So at least in tournament situations like this or on LAN, they'll know that, you know, they'll be perfectly fine no matter what kind of situation they're in. But, you know, I'm glad it's happened like this. I'm glad it's 1-0. You know, I was a bit worried with the fact that if Sparty and Razy did take a map or two of them, it would be way too close, and the maps they did lose, it would be like quite a huge deficit, which kind of shows that they would eventually lose that series. But, you know, that was quite a huge impact. What was it, like 40? How many kills was it?
13, I think, difference, 50 to 37, I want to say.
I want to say, yeah, at least 13, 14 kills difference. Yeah. So, you know, that's quite a big statement, especially on that map.
Yeah, completely. I mean, as you say, momentum can be an important thing in this for sure. And it looks like actually we're tuning into the next map right now. Let's see who can put themselves onto match point. We're not getting anything crazy right now. We've got visors on each team. That's Xron and Sparty. And we've got BJ Blazkowicz represented by Silencep and Razy.
Yep, Xron has left his scale bearer in the closet. He's basically thought to himself, I didn't do a good job of it last time, go back to Visor, which is completely understandable, and Visor's a very good pick, especially on Sarnath as well. So he's going to try and get a rails and get a bit of damage done here and there, but Sparty does manage to pick up Xron, and Silencep knew this straight away, so managed to pull back and fight another day.
Silencep's a little bit early for this Mega Health, but that's absolutely fine. This is actually a map that I have seen Xron play with Scalebearer and win the map versus a very decent team, so I think he was just kind of scared off after Corrupted Keep.
Yeah, I think his confidence absolutely dwindled after that game. Like, if you go from playing really well the first map and going, you know, dropping a neg 20 bomb like straight away like that, you know, it makes you think to yourself, well, you know what, actually, we'll maybe use it another time. Maybe like if I scrim with it a bit more. But that just basically shows that he needs to probably spend a little bit more time. A
neg 20 bomb. I haven't heard that before. That's the 20 bomb you really don't want. Hey, Silencep there with the double dual wield BJ. Trying to hit rails now, but he's just been charged away. He even goes up the bounce pad anyway, and he noticed that he doesn't have a rail, so he's like, whatever. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah,
but
that was not too great for him, was it? Missed a few rails, got his LG out, but he was out of range to use that as well, so it was a really uncomfortable stay at the moment. But Xron did try and contest that heavy, which he did, but sadly for him, Razy does pick it up and gets a nice double of his own.
Let's go over to Razy. He managed to survive that. That heavy did so much for him. 10 seconds now until the quad's up. We've got a rail lander from Silencep, and he can't hit the follow-up. Xron manages to take down Sparty. Razy's weak. There is a spawn from Razy over there, but Silencep's got him covered with a rail shot. Oh, and another important rail for Silencep to land. He's been fantastic with his rails.
Been really on point so far, and literally that was the one time you wouldn't want to put a heavy, and literally managed to pick him off and as you contest it straight away. But I would have thought that Myztro EU would have at least made the assumption that there's no point contesting it because they're going to contest it with a quad, but maybe they thought as well that Silencep's going to be actually running around trying to play aggressive and try and look for it. But he's done, you know, even though he only got like 3/4 of the amount of time for that quad, he's done a great job with that rail of picking them off each of them.
His rails have been, again, amazing, and making sure that those are frags. Again, denying that heavy beforehand by hitting the quad rail onto the heavy carrier. He's weak right now, but I'm kind of curious to see what he wants to do with this low stacking. Is he going to heal up? Is there going to be a 25 health bubble up here? He's going to run into Razy, and that is going to be a direct rocket in his face. That's not going to allow him to survive any longer.
I know what he's thinking. 15 seconds of collecting those health orbs, and all for nothing, pretty much. I do hate those scenarios, but
wow.
Let's get teamed up by Silencep anyway on the spawn. Then Sparty managed to trade off, but Xron is going to trade with him straight afterwards, and he's got the heavy bits. And he's got 6 HP, so he's got to try and decide as much as possible, but Xron managed to pick off Razy anyway. That was a great play by him and managed to keep that stack going a little bit.
If he can find another health bubble or two, then he's going to be looking really good, actually leading towards... Oh, he had the rail out for a second, but he does make the switch eventually, and he gets the vertical rail going. There is Razy up above. Silencep might be going up versus him. Let's see, there he is going to go down to Tribolt. He's backing up to try and get onto the heavy armor. But we have Myztro EU locking that one down, and with 10 seconds to go until the power-up, things are getting important now. Oh, he's so weak.
Xron now, he's the Xron we know he loves now. He's at least hitting everything he can now. Obviously, that switch has obviously made a huge impact. Razy does manage to get the pick down Xron, but Silencep does manage to pick him off, but Silencep just doesn't survive a little bit longer, but yeah, this is going to be quite a weird fight in the end, but eventually Silencep does pick it up and also picks up the Mega with it.
Yeah, that move from Silencep, very quick coming in from the Elgin room, supporting Xron. Right timing to jump onto the power-up. Heavy was just, I think it was taken by Razy and just stolen, but we're seeing in less than 5 minutes and an 8 frag advantage. We might get another one now. Dual wield comes out. Razy's going to be working with 0 down below.
23-16 now in favor of Myztro CIS. Obviously, proving now that maps do mean quite a lot. 14 kills Myztro EU won last time on Kratos Keep, and now on Sarnif it's basically complete opposite effects. And it seems like they can't find an answer. Razy managed to get that clean LG kill right there, but it's only 6 now. But what do you think Myztro EU need to do now to at least close the gap between them?
I like that they're attacking 2 at a time on the major items. That's helped them a huge amount. If they can keep on working like that, then that's going to be one step forward. You can see that they're making use of mistakes from Xron and Silencep to not be doing that themselves. So if they can keep coordinating 2 at a time on Heavy and Mega, then that's eventually they can start looking at winning that war of attrition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again,
right
brilliant,
there. And you saw that as well. Yeah, perfect flanks from both as well. And I see as well, what I like about recently, as they're catching up and closing the deficits, the fact that you're using the buddy system a lot more, the baiting switching, so they don't trade as well for the CIS team. So you can see some little perks here and there where they're really trying to at least try and abuse the mechanics on this map. But, you know, Sparty's got the Mega at the moment. Heavy will become the next 5 seconds. Not sure if that will be contested at all, but Silencep does manage to get that pick on, Xron gets that pick on Sparty.
Well, we have got the quad up in just about 5 seconds. Heavy is up. Neither teams have gone for it. They know it's just a little bit too close to the power spawn, and Rocket is going to deny that. We've got dual wield LG and Razy. He is going to win the fight for quad damage. 4 frags behind. It could be a very slim lead by the end of this this quad.
This is definitely the time they needed quad, but so far he is having struggled to find any information, but managed to get Xron off guard anyway. I assume he was told by Sparty that he's actually dropping down to Heavy, which is great information for him. But the fact that he was playing so patiently, I felt like Sparty was going around to try and feed information, try and push him in certain areas so that Razy could at least pick him off and saves him having to rush everywhere without finding anyone. So great strategy there.
Silencep's really desperate to kill Sparty. It's going to be another 1 point. I want to quickly look at Sparty. So I think he did actually use his ability at the beginning of the quad run, so that they could lock down those positions at the back of the Heavy room, up the staircase. Oh, Xron, he climbs up above and manages to get the shotgun kill. His stack is good. He's going to find another player. Oh, he goes to the rail, point blank. Shotgun could have been very good for him, but the starting shotgun gets the better over those sort of slow weapon switches we saw from Xron.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, he might at least give it a trade-off before he dies, but sadly, it didn't work in his favor. Silencep trying to at least stop them from catching up in any way, shape or form. Now down by only 2 kills, but Silencep just trying to at least try and pick off in any way, shape or form, but doesn't get picked at all. And Xron managed to trade off with Sparty straight afterwards. And it looks like now Xron is down there waiting for him, managed to pick off Razy.
He spotted where the other was, but Sparty very quick. I think Sparty actually used, yeah, he just had the piercing sight too. So quickly just edge around the corner. Easy kill for him, but now Silencep right back. The trade's going back and forth a lot. There's a very small lead for Myztro CIS. haven't got that same level of comfort as before. And Silencep is so weak leading up to this power-up. It's spawning in 5 seconds. He's going to hope to respawn very close by. XRon, nowhere to be seen. I think we've got dual-wheeled rails being used by Silencep. He hits one. And Sparty kind of ledge grabs the top of the bounce pad to make sure he doesn't show his head too much to Silencep anymore.
That's the most annoying thing. If you're a Visor, you're playing against another Visor, and you both use piercing sight, you just know because you're just staring at each other thinking, right, you're going to move or what?
Exactly.
One of those pet peeves, really. But it seems like now Sparty's still got a protection, but hasn't got much of a stack, but he will try and at least try and do something with it now. And he will be jumping out.
Nice.
He cleans up Silencep straight afterwards now. Trying to get at least one more before he packs in, and he does, and there's one more following suit straight afterwards. They're both there now. Razy managed to get one, then two before he dies to XRon.
We've got a completely tied game now, Lethal. They've managed, those power-up runs for Razy and Sparty have been exemplary. They've managed to get the better setups as well. Another 1-for-1 down at Heavy, but it was taken by XRon. He's got piercing sight, so he needs to be using this effectively now. And Sparty lands a huge rail, which is just going to slow him down.
We was quite worried about him at the start of the game, whether they can actually make this comeback or not. And it seems like they will be trying their best and have done now. They've not only just come back, but obviously tied it. Now in the lead by 1 kill. So we need to try and at least keep their stack going, not try and take any fights, but great combo rail with that. And he gets another one straight off the bat and helps Razy to clean up. So yeah, Zoo, it's not looking too good now for the CIS guys.
It's not at all. We've just got dual wheeled use. I'm switching kind of frantically around players right now because so much action going around the map. Well, that Mega's going to be up in just a second. They do manage to team up on Razy. Start to get some more secure kills. Oh, Silencep. He runs out of LG ammo, but hits an important rail to shut that down. They've now got the lead back. 5 seconds to Heavy. If they can lock down Heavy and then build up towards the quad, this will look a lot better than the last power-up attack that they had, which they had no HP for whatsoever. That
quad damage is coming in 10 seconds now. They're literally trying to... He's trying to push in now, trying to get something done. They're both up on the Mega, but now they've lost height advantage completely. So this is for Sep and XRon to capitalize it, which they've done, and they've got the quad now. So fantastic double by Silencep, and it looks like now he needs to be careful because he hasn't got much of a stack, but at least try and do whatever he can with that quad.
So risky to do that. Razy's showing his face a little bit. He might just go in with dual wield. Yeah, he's ready, but Sparty, he turns around. That was way too greedy from Silencep. There was a Mega that I think spawned right behind, and he didn't go for it. Now, I need to go over to Sparty and see. It looks like the quad now has run out. Oh, no, sorry, Razy. My bad. Oh, he's almost tying it up now. 46 to 45. Mega health is up. Myztro CIS aren't going to pick that up, so Razy's going to be able to stack up. Heavy is up in 10 seconds, so now these item pickups are incredibly important.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll see even protection next in this game. Depends exactly what happens and how aggressive they are, but Razy gets a fantastic flank when he manages to get as much damage as possible, but Silencep manages to get both of them straight after, so yeah, exactly, fantastic play by them both.
2 frags needed. Are they going to be able to... Yeah, they get behind on Razy, only 1 more required. But Silencep is so low on health. He's going to try and support, but Sparty gets a kill. He gets the double kill. They are 2 frags away. Only 1 behind Myztro CIS. Sparty does just get himself onto the Mega health. He's getting attacked from the side, though. He's still alive and hitting incredibly important rails. I feel like I need to switch over to another player, but let's just hold on to it for a moment. Nailgun, he runs out of there. Razy's got a big stack, actually.
Yeah, it's not looking too bad, though, is it? Sparty was really weak. That Mega's not coming out for a while, so just trying to raise it, trying to get as much damage done as possible in this distraction. But down now, it's 49. Oh, Sparty managed to get a crucial rail now. He's on his own in the Heavy, but he's got 7 HP. But sadly, he spawns on that armor and gets picked off from the side. So what a great third map.
I would love to have seen the amount of health that Razy had at the end, because they got down, I believe, XRon in the Heavy room to about 25 HP. If they pushed him, they would have gotten the kill, I think. But they got flanked on the sideline, which allowed them to have... Yeah, so that was brutal, brutal game 3. Not easy at all for XRon and Silencep.
No, it was literally back and forth, wasn't it, pretty much? You know, Myztro, you had quite a small deficit in terms of actually trying to make a comeback, which they did, and did, you know, overtake a little bit to an extent. But it seemed like then, maybe you were right. Maybe if they just pushed for that Heavy. But, you know, it got to a point where they probably had a feeling that they was going to spawn there. But I think it was such a messy part of that last game. I don't think they thought about quick enough to at least try and capitalize on it. So maybe if they just both went into that 2v1, no matter what stack they had, but at least that way there's a potential opportunity to bait and switch and finish him off on heavy.
Yeah. But at that stage, it looked like both teams like, we know the power-up's up in 15 seconds, but we also know that the game's not going to last that long. We're finishing this here and now. it's getting done no matter what. I hope we were right, though. I feel like I didn't see the scoreboard at the end, which is fine, but I hope we were right there to recognise that. I believe Sparty went down right at the last possible second.
Yeah, because he had, I think he had about 7 or 6 HP,
so
wasn't
quick.
it?
I'm like, I hope I even saw that right. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was so low, though. But
Yeah,
I feel Zron at the heavy must have been absolutely, I don't know, it would have been a sweaty occasion for him.
Yeah, he definitely was. I think, well, there's literally barely any cover apart from the walls on the heavy,
Yeah.
so he literally was done for. They both could have just swung around and then got a pick off, but I wasn't really too sure on the other players' stack at the time, so maybe one of them was really weak and one of them wasn't, and I think they felt like maybe if they did drop down and he had a 50-50, then there's a possibility that he would have picked that person off. But yeah, I think there was just I would say a panic mistake in a way where they kind of just wasn't too sure whether they should just like be patient and wait or just like push straight in for the heavy, but maybe they weren't too sure on how the stack was for the person at heavy.
Yeah, no, completely. Well, next map is going to be Blood Run, another map we're going to be seeing for the first time today. It's match tournament point now for Xron and Silencep. They can certainly get it done over here. That was their map pick, so this is technically the Razy and Sparty map pick, but with only 2 maps left in the pool.
But you don't want them to win,
now.
so you get the perfect prediction.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm so close to having spot on so far. But man, I mean, I was honestly for a lot of the last moments of that map, I was thinking they're not going to win. It is going to be 2-1 to Razy and Sparty instead, because they just looked generally stronger in the last few minutes of that map. I feel that they just maybe were a bit more shaken by what was going on.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I feel like there's a lot more potential now. I think we kind of, I wouldn't say underestimated Sparty and Razy, but underestimated to a point where we thought they would take a map or two, but maybe not take the series. But there's a lot of potential in them. Like, you know, you saw the second map, they won by 13 or 14 kills. That one was completely, that could have gone either way depending on the scenario. And the first game obviously went to the CIS region straight afterwards. So I'd be interested to see now with Blood Run, it's going to be completely different. We haven't seen this map being played at all, like you said earlier, in this previous series. So would you be seeing anything different maybe from Xron this time?
I'm trying to think. This could be a scale bearer map. I don't think we're getting a scale bearer. I think I'll just rule that out as a possibility. Clutch map? Could be a clutch map.
Possible.
So I don't know. I think we'll probably end up getting 2 visors. One on Sparty, one on Xron. And I think we'll get BJ for Silencep and maybe Ranger for the player that I haven't said yet, which is one of them.
I was trying to remember from the top of my head there.
I think it's Razy though. I think we'll use the Ranger. But yeah. I mean, I might be wrong on that. I don't want to put this in the sort of portfolio of predictions today. I want to like leave that on the side. Let's do it over here. This is map 4 between the 2 Myztro teams here in the Go4 Quake Champions European 2v2 finale. And so I might be totally wrong on that because it looks like we've got Rangers and we've got BJs for both sides.
Just shows fair enough. And I think earlier, like, Razy had a really nice stack in him. I only managed to get 1 kill out of it. And it seems like now Silencep does take out Razy in the end. He's trying to take out Sparty as well, but Sparty does manage to get away in the end. And Silencep now with that heavy. So nicely stacked for him so far.
Yeah, I think everyone is going to see a lot more prominence of the Tri-Bolt on this map because there's such perfect ranges to be defending the central position towards Mega and towards the heavy armor. So expect people to be looking for flanks in order to deal with it and pushing as close as possible. But that's why Ranger helps a bit. You can just dire orb straight into them and you don't have to worry about pushing past those really tight choke points that are almost everywhere on this map.
This is one of the maps I really wanted to see more than anything, especially between these 2 teams as well. And as you saw there, Xron barely managed to stop Razy from getting that Mega, and Silencep killed Sparty on spawn. So it seems like now they're not in a great state in terms of weaponry and any kind of stacking. Xron barely managed, doesn't even actually take him out in the end. So I would say he has a bit of a trade from him at one point.
Yeah, I think he should have got that. He had some good weaponry for it, but he'll look beyond it. Razy backing out a bit. You could see some early setups on power up, and I know he's 20 seconds or so ahead of it now, but he's probably thinking right now, I want to hold this room. I'm actually kind of upset that he left the room at all. I think he should have stayed up there. You gain so much on this map by setting up early on quad or protection, because it's harder to push in. Maybe these ranges are going to try and counter a bit, but you know what, Xron, he's just everywhere, getting all the frags, getting himself on the quad. He's got stack to work with. Items are going to be up shortly. I mean, it's time to go on a bit of a rampage.
Yeah, I feel like with this map and Awoken, I think there's nothing wrong with setting up early, because you've got so much closed areas and only a small amount of places to actually look from. I think it's perfectly fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Is there any maps like Sarnif or anything like that? But yeah, I probably would be questioning why they're there so early, because it's so open, you can easily get picked. But so far right now, Xron doing a great job getting a couple of kills with that quad, trying to find one more, but sadly for him, he doesn't realise that it was actually right there on the stairs. And now he knows, and sadly for him, he's going to be hitting his head on that one. But it's fair enough that he actually didn't know he was there. So it's great play by whoever was actually hiding on those stairs. So good job.
Yeah, you look like a genius if you're going for it, but it's all right. It's fine. There's no shame in missing that one out. No, not to worry. But look at that advantage we've got at the moment for Myztro CIS. They're 8 frags ahead. This does remind me of some other leads that we've had in this tournament. I think actually like Wenger and Base getting those very early leads on Sparty and Razy, and then watching Sparty and Razy make the comeback later on. So Xron and Silencep, they've got to be absolutely head screwed in at all times. Do not make any assumptions that you're about to win the map, because the job's not done until it's done.
And it seems like
sounds easy, right?
Yeah, you would think it sounds easy. It's easier said than done, isn't it, pretty much? But they're not doing anything at the moment. It seems like they're really struggling to get anything going. It's gone from 4-all to 20-8 now in favour of Myztro CIS, and it seems like now Silencep is just going on a tear with that dual tri-bolt, man. So, and it seems like there's nothing stopping them. So I think right now, and also like we spoke about before, Blood Run isn't one of those maps. It's quite hard to be calm and collective and think about your next thing. It's all about your initiative and communicating with your teammate. And so and you can see now that it's definitely working in favour of the Myztro CIS team.
Razy's going for this heavy that's spawning 3 seconds before the protection. Who's in there waiting? He has got Sparty there, but we've had an orb out that came from Xron. And Sparty gets the kill on Silencep anyway, so it's definitely a well-judged patience picking up that item. Xron's not able to get back what he wants. That 10 frag lead is turning into, well, now only 5, and I think 4 to 3 very soon. If my maths is right. It's probably not.
No, actually, your math. I was going to say it was.
It's just not.
I was going to say it was right just to make you feel better, not throw you under the bus. But I can throw you under the bus.
I'll throw myself under the bus. The Wenger bus.
Bus driver will love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, Razy, was almost picked off by him. It was on 14 HP. He's going to send the blood pool for a bit, but not for long as Silencep goes straight down.
Nice. Right.
No problem at all. Sparty does get picked there. 4 HP, managed to get back to 54, but gets picked off by Silencep anyway. And his stack as well, it ain't looking too good. So he's going to try and pull back, get a couple of the health orbs here just to see if he can balance out a little bit and see where he can get any information on where the EU's guys are.
Yeah, he's so weak though, so any amount of damage he can get out, if he's not dying, it's brilliant. A little bit of tri-bolt on tri-bolt action over there, but somehow Silencep stays alive. He's got 100 health, and he's still kind of controlling this sort of central room. And Xron's there on the other side. 6 frags between them. Information where Mega was taken. He's going dual-wield tri-bolt straight away and just defending the spot while Heavy's going to get taken soon. But he just looks away at the wrong time. Xron gets 1. He's got dual-wield... he's got his super shotgun out. That's Sparty's acrobatics to get the better of him.
So this is what's going to happen now. So you've got 25 seconds till this quad comes up. So obviously for the next 10-15, we're going to see them try and spawn kill them, try and put a lot of pressure on them, try and keep away from anything as possible. But now we're going to see exactly how we're going to set up. So Xron's already waiting to see if he can at least take anyone off guard going up that lift, which he does. He managed to almost take out 1, but sadly for him, Razy gets the better of him. Silencep cleans up Razy anyway. It's only on 1 HP. He managed to miss the shotgun shot, but again, Xron cleans up Sparty straight afterwards and gets that quad. But now Razy's got it. Time for a comeback.
That was a huge melee there between all of them. I really thought that Silencep and Xron had the better edge, but we just weren't seeing that nail gun connecting after a while. Xron went down at the bounce pad, and I feel from there when he sacrificed that position and went too hard in, that was that. 3 frags between them now. Surely to catch up in a second, especially with Razy stacked out of his mind right now.
And with Blood Run, it's one of those maps where you should never underestimate your team. You've got to remember that even if it's 10 or 15 kills, the comebacks are so easy to grab, especially if you're on such a great spot with a stack and that protection of quad. But was going to get heavy, but sadly, Sep managed to stop it from doing that and takes Razy and Sparty from that. What happened there?
Do not know where Silencep came from. He was so fast out of Mega. He was just levitating Razy in the air. That was nuts from him. Oh, we've got a direct, and we've got the orb as well. So much damage. And just a trickle of Tri-Bolt damage.
It's not looking too good now. They do get that lead back by CIS. They are trying to extend it as much as they can. Zron's not looking too well stack-wise, but managed to get Sparty anyway. He's going to... Well, was going to clean up Razy, but Silencep managed to do that for him anyway. So 7 kills in it now, and it seems like Myztro EU may have to just try what they do before. Just play a little bit calm. I know it's quite hard on this map, but try and figure out exactly what they should do next. The next plan of action. And as you can see, that heavy's going to be coming within 10 seconds, and then a good spot for it.
Wow. Well, we had 65 frags, by the way, in the first half of the game, the first 7.5 minutes.
That math was good.
Yeah, thanks. that's a lot of kills going on. This map has been so fast between them, and we're finally getting up to another protection. Razy, brilliant rocket. Xron is going to have a chance to respawn somewhere. Silencep now attacking. We've got a flank, though, from the other side. Xron coming out. Here's the dual wield, but Xron with a double. He will be gifted the protection. Sparty does get a steal going. Xron's got to move forward against that Tri-Bar. He knows that he has to do that. Sparty closes the gap a little bit, but Xron is weak. They can smell victory here in the Go4. 9 frags will separate them from that.
It seems like now he doesn't really care much about his stack. He's just trying to get everything he can done out of that protection. Managed to pick up Sparty anyway after all that, but looking now, needs to heal a little bit. Just trying to at least try... I don't know exactly what's going on. I haven't got any information on where we are at the moment, but he was going to get that Mega, but it seemed like Sparty did manage to take it anyway. But I think Xron was planning on grabbing that, but Sparty was like, nope, not having that, my friend.
I think he teleported from the top as well, from that little gap we see behind Xron right now. Or move behind from Sparty. Silencep suicide, so the score remains static for just a moment. And Razy might be able to do a little... Yeah, he Tri-Bolt jumps up to the heavy armor. Pressure onto Silencep, and he goes down too. This is the last hurrah now for Razy and Sparty in this series.
It's one of those maps also that it's very hard to stick together in certain situations. It's more about sandwiching your opponents and flanking every single moment of the time. But if there's any other map, I'd say it's doable. But you've got to remember now, it's 9 kill deficit they've got to face. And that Myztro CIS squad are looking to take this victory home.
Oh, I've got the dual wield out. Oops, sorry, switching around there. Silencep now with the dual wield Tri-Bolt is so powerful. That and ability on this side.
To say the least.
Yeah, what can you do about it?
Not much, I don't think,
no,
mate. Especially if you're as aggressive as it is.
Pretty down. As long as you can like kill him immediately, which, you know, to be fair, Ranger could, but it's a long shot. Orbs again.
See, Xron now knows they need to make this quad play, but they do, and managed to get away with it now. But his stack's not looking too good, but that quad is coming in the next 3 seconds, so if they want to make anything from this, they need to do so now. But Razy does have the quad. He's trying to find out exactly where he should go, just due to the fact that his stack's not looking too great, so he can't be as aggressive as he wants to be, but hopefully that Mega will come up in the next second. He's going to try and go for which he does, but now's his opportunity. He needs to get something done. Time's in his hands, but so far they will be consistently running away from him.
Oh, Sparty goes down as well. He really didn't want him to die. There's time for them to come back, but it's time also to stick together. And he can't find any enemies. Incredibly evasive from Xron and Silencep. Now the quad's gone, they're happy to show their face a little bit more in center map.
And as you can see, that heavy is up, but Razy is just baiting at the moment to try and get as much down as much as possible. Sorry, Sparty. Oh, Sparty managed to get nice 2 rails clean there. And the Mega and heavy up, but he's got to back off. He's trying to get back as far as he can, but Xron ain't going to let him at all clean up. Razy on 63 HP now. It's looking like they're knocking on death's door at the moment.
He's got to hit rockets like this. He manages to land.